Got salsiccia cooking, some pasta and some green beans in the same water cooking. Waste not. And a big tall glass of coffee with a little bit of half and half in it. And a begging cat. He wants some salsiccia. Having spumoni ice cream for dessert. I woke up feeling like I was hit by a car. Yeah, don't say it, you look like it. I know. So I spent a day like a guy. I laid in bed, I watched soccer, and I watched basketball. Soccer and basketball. Wolverhampton playing Manchester, Man United, and it was 0-0 and I was still watching it. So if anyone scored, I don't know. Then I was watching basketball and I don't even know who was playing because I was half out of it. Got up and I started fixing the pasta salsiccia. And I ate it all in, I mixed it, drained it, put it all together in one pan, and I ate it out of the pan like a guy. Yeah, I am having a guy's day. And then I had the ice cream, and now here I am. And I said today would be like a reflection day, sort of, kind of. So I was looking at the calendar, which I took off the wall. Looking through there, because I marked down like landmark things like temperature when something happens. The new calendar is on the wall waiting for this year coming up. In January of this past year, Trump was sworn in to be president. He had a travel ban put on immediately. February, I auditioned for Harvey and made a part. A tornado wiped out a small town in Missouri. I started having anxiety attacks. Pretty bad. March, tornado in Wentzville, which isn't that far away. Temperature was still in the freezing area. By the end of the month, it was more normal. April, Italian Film Festival at Washington University, where they show Italian films with English subtitles free. And I always try to go. And I got to go this year as well. Scott came in for about a week, spent most of the days with his friends, but he took me out for my 60th birthday, 6-0. We had a good time. We went to Los Fuentes, my favorite place up here in Florissant. And had a good time. And lawn mowing season started. May was pretty much centered around Harvey, rehearsals and performance. June, it got stinking hot. I was cleaning off the patio because it just started looking messy. I had boxes and boxes and boxes of cut up sticks. I have big old trees in the backyard that are always shedding branches, and I had cut them all up and had them neatly organized in boxes, and no one seemed to want them. I offered them free on Craigslist even, you know. The Boy Scouts didn't want them. Nobody wanted them for, like, camping purposes or nothing. So I ended up putting the barbecue grill in the yard and burning them box after box after box. They got burned. Started having more panic attacks. In July, the downpipe under the sink that goes to the same one that the washing machine empties into and then goes under the basement floor out towards the street to be emptied into the sewer. That pipe every other year needs to be reamed out because I don't know why. So I had to have that snaked out. That cost me probably, I don't know. I didn't write down on the calendar what it cost, but I have it somewhere, but it was too much. And Brian and Ashley came in for Brian's best friend's wedding. Brian was best man. They came in for about a week. No, they came in for like 4 days. And it was good to see them. In August, I had a lot more panic attacks, total solar eclipse, and I went to the Festival of Nations. The Festival of Nations is a big festival with representing different nations and groups of people and nationalities, and they had food and music and wares from all those nations, and the proceeds go to help assimilate immigrants into this country through the International Institute of St. Louis. It's a great organization. September, the weather was still in the 90s. The streets started being worked on around here. On the 15th was a verdict for a white cop that had taken the life of a black kid. This is, I think, a year ago or something, but the verdict, the final verdict, was on the 15th. And they indicted the cop. They found him not guilty. And of course there was riots and people went nuts. Things were affected all over the place. It went so nuts that U2 canceled their concert. They were going to come into town and they said no. Nope. YouTube editor, gone. Boy, I miss it. I miss it terribly. Oktoberfest in St. Charles, I went to that. Renaissance Fair in Wentzville, I went to that. October, replaced Mom's ceiling fan with Rick in the kitchen. Car inspected, did not pass. Went to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, a live version of it with a girl that was in Harvey. I mean, she was in Rocky Horror. I went to see her. Thoroughly cleaned the kitchen because something I cooked went all over the place, and so I decided to steam clean it top to bottom. That took a while, but I did that. A giant tree branch fell, 40-foot long tree branch. It's still in the backyard. Maybe by spring or summer it'll dry it up enough I can just cut it up. I don't know what to do with it. Maybe have another burn fest. Burning Man. Hopefully not me. The refrigerator stopped working. We discovered it was a melted outlet because there's aluminum wiring in this house, so we had to buy a special outlet that could handle regular wiring versus aluminum. I went to a TED Talk, which I was not impressed with. November, changed the brakes and rotors on the car, had to replace a tire, had more anxiety attacks. Put a big rubber thing on the bottom of the garage door to keep water and stuff from coming in underneath the door, and it's still working. December, I went out to California for a few days and spent time with Brian, Scott, Ashley, and Ashley's mom and sister, and I had a wonderful time. We did a lot of talking, mostly planning in the future talking, not reliving the past talking, which is interesting because usually when you get together you talk about the past, but this time we all talked about the future, which is interesting. Brian said, Ma, if you really want to move out here, and I guess he's not opposed to it, because if you really want to move out here, you've got some planning to do. In other words, I ain't gonna do it. No, I don't expect anyone to do it. I have to do it. If I plan on going anywhere, I have to plan. I have to know what I'm dealing with, what my finances are, how I'm going to do it, what and where and how, and and that's what I'm going to be doing this coming year. I'm going to be I'm in plan mode. And everything that goes along with plan mode. I came back and I knew the battery in the car was kind of wonky. I knew it was going to go out eventually, and I was hoping to win a new car through Menards hardware store. This month is a Chevy Equinox, and I have been there once. I'm not going out every day like I did in November. Once or twice will, heck, If you win, you win, and you don't, you don't. I don't expect to win, but it would be great. I'm tired of spending money on a car that the personal property tax people say is only worth $80. I've spent about $500 on that damn car this year. I just can't afford it. I am skint, as they say. I have nothing. I have just enough to keep my bank account open. And I dread this coming gas bill because the furnace has been running all freaking day today. And I keep it lower in here. I'm wearing long underwear and I wear blankets and everything. But it's still too warm in here, I guess. I don't know. I dread the coming bill. Tomorrow, the 31st, is World Peace Day. World Peace Day, everyone. Tomorrow also I'm going to have a New Year's Eve craziness vlog. Well, I do nutsy things. Well, at least that's the plan. I'm going to make a little capon. I think that's what it's called. One of those little chickens. My brother David said there's a way you can take the bones out from cutting around it and reaching in and pulling out the bones so that you stuff the inside with stuffing and cook it and you just slice it. I don't know. Anyway, and then, dance around with the cat and the mannequin, and what I got for the cat is a little dog sweater. I washed it and it was hanging to dry. He doesn't know it yet. I don't know if he'll like it or not. He may hate it, or he may decide it keeps him warm and he may like it. It's got a little reindeer's face on it. It's funny. So that ought to be funny. So I'm going to have like a little special meal and open up a bottle of Asti Spumante that I've had in the refrigerator for several years. Who knows? It might be the best vinegar ever. Gosh, I've been talking for over 10 minutes. Golly, golly, golly. Well, this coming year, like I say, is going to be one of planning for me. I'm not going to sit and say, well, I want to lose 30 pounds or 80 pounds. Or, I know what I need to lose in pounds, and I know what I need to do. I will endeavor to do these things, but I'm not going to promise myself because I like to make sure I can keep my promises. I do plan on planning a lot this year, my year of planning. My year of going upward and onward.